Welcome to MiniHalla. My name is Chris, and on this journey I will be looking through some of the content creators that I have on my website, minihalla.co.uk. A lot of the content creators that I have commercial licenses for can be found on here. Content creators are from around the world, normally ones I've got from a Kickstarter, but I've always bought the commercial licenses. There is one on there at the minute for Dawn of War. You may have heard of it as the PC game that blew up for 40k. A lot of different factions on there. At this moment in time, I am currently selling them and the Space Marine faction side of things. They have just released an Eldar version, which looks absolutely fantastic, and if you haven't seen them, I would recommend looking for them over on Kickstarter. So the videos that I'll be posting will be aimed mainly at the 3D printing community, but it won't just end there, because we've got a lot to explore, especially down the lines of the painting guides, what to do, what not to do, cosplay, things like Dungeons and Dragons or other roleplay games, tabletop miniatures, and not just the Games Workshop or Mantic side, but other games that we can look into. This channel is not only aimed at the people who have been collecting for years like myself, but it's actually designed mainly for the beginners. I'll go through tips with you because not all of us have got steady hands. We're not all great painters, but sometimes we just want okay. So I've gone through a lot of techniques, and I've got a lot of different bits of information regarding painting tips, how to clean up after yourself. There is also an area I'd like to look into, which is masking techniques. So when you think masking techniques, you think of a small piece of masking tape over a part of detail so you don't paint over it. There's another way of doing it that I'm trying to experiment with, and I'd like to bring that into the community at a later date. That depends if it actually works. A lot of play testing. When we think of miniatures and models, we don't necessarily always think about bases. We get bases with the miniatures, of course, but why not get something a bit more unique? You go over to the website again, there's plenty of different basing options there. I've also got movement trays now as well. Some of my videos later on will be aimed at the 3D printing community, helping you out to try and get the best of 3D printing, what upgrades to do, which printers to go for. Another thing to think about and explore would be the cosplay side. A lot of cosplays out there are amazing, and I do have the EVA form to create my own, but never had the time to do it. I have built a full Space Marine helmet through 3D printing, and it looks amazing. Still lots of tweaks to do, but we'll share that in another video. Trying to find time for your hobby can be a stretch, and it can be a goal in itself. So what about some ideas on how to actually get prepared for it? Things like priming your models the night before, or even having your workstation set up, what tools to use, what tools not to use, the types of brushes and things like that. Everybody's different in the community of everything, and sometimes finding different techniques, different ways of doing things can help you improve. If you wish to get in touch, you've always got the comment section or DM me. If you want to know more about a certain thing, I am happy to play test and experiment. It's what printers are for. You know, we can get things, we can put it on the printer and see what it turns out like. Support settings might not work or anything along those lines. They are a fiddly beast to work with. So we can look at things like settings and supports and the environment in which the printer's sitting. Delving more into the roleplay side. I've been a fan of Dungeons and Dragons since the 3.5 edition, and that was a long time ago. I haven't played the original ones, I haven't even played edition 4, but I really do like getting into roleplay games and becoming a completely different persona. Doing things with the voices, doing things with the acting, just being somebody else for that short period of time, and relieving that stress of the everyday life. The other roleplays I've played are things like Werewolf the Apocalypse, or I've tried Pathfinder, Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay, Vaesen. There is so many different things out there that maybe you don't even realise how many there is. Maybe we need to explore these into more context and find out which one actually suits everybody. Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay is something that I've enjoyed for almost 3 decades. From first edition of Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay, where I found it in a library, just reading through it, the rules, the details. That was my first roleplay game that I picked up. But it didn't stop there. I do like a lot of roleplay games on computers as well. I'll leave this introduction for now and actually start jumping onto my first couple of videos. If you have any preference on the type of things you want to know about or anything like that, like I said, give me a shout. I'm always open to interpretation or criticism or anything. So, like I said, give me a follow if you are interested in seeing where this goes, because I'm kind of interested and curious on how far I can actually get with the community behind me, because I'm a very positive person and I do want to see people get bigger and healthier and stronger, you know, even if it is just painting eyeballs on a mini when you're so stressed that you don't want to be doing anything like that. So let's do this, let's get on with this and find out how we can become better at whatever the hell we want to. Leave me a comment, let me know what you think. and hopefully I will see you in the next video.